I remember the exact moment I deleted the app. My hand was shaking and my heart was racing, but as that little icon disappeared from my screen, I felt like I could finally breathe for the first time in years. For 3 years, I've been missing. You saw the rumors, the blurry paparazzi photos, and the theories about our secret children. You wondered why Josiah and I walked away from the fame, the money, and the family spotlight. The truth is, I was breaking. I was losing myself in the comments, the expectations, and the pressure to be a perfect Duggar wife. I had to choose, keep the fans, or keep my soul. Today, the silence ends. I'm taking you inside our private world in Arkansas, the world we built away from the cameras. I'm introducing you to the babies we kept hidden, the healing we found in the quiet, and the real reason we are never going back. My name is Lauren, and I'm finally home. I remember the exact moment I deleted the app. It was a Tuesday evening, and the sun was setting over the hills. I had just spent an hour scrolling through comments. Some were sweet, but so many were sharp. They picked apart my hair, my clothes, the way I looked at Josiah. I felt like I was drowning in a sea of opinions from people who didn't even know my middle name. I looked at Josiah and I said, I can't do this anymore. He didn't even hesitate. He just said, then don't. We sat on the couch and deleted our photos one by one. With every delete, click, a weight lifted off my chest. When the screen finally went blank, the room felt different. It was quiet. It was just us. We knew the world would notice. We knew the rumors would start, that we were getting a divorce, that something was wrong. But for the first time in our marriage, we weren't performing. We were just Josiah and Lauren, and that was enough. Being a Duggar is like living in a glass house where the curtains are never allowed to close. Every time I stepped outside, I felt like I was on a stage. I was the new wife, the one everyone was comparing to my sisters-in-law. I felt this immense pressure to be perfect, to have the perfect hair, the perfect house, the perfect servant's heart. But inside, I was struggling. The cameras made everything feel bigger than it was. A small disagreement with Josiah became a scandal in the tabloids. A tired look on my face meant I was unhappy. I started to develop this deep, paralyzing anxiety every time I saw a camera lens. I realized that my mental health was the price I was paying for a brand I didn't even own. I reached my breaking point during a family event where I just had to hide in the bathroom for an hour because the noise was too much. I knew then that if I didn't walk away, I was going to lose the girl I used to be before I ever met a camera crew. I think a lot of people were surprised that Josiah followed me into the shadows. He grew up in the spotlight. It was all he knew. He was the funny one, the one who always had a joke for the producers. But when he saw what the pressure was doing to me, he didn't care about the show. He didn't care about the fame. He looked at me and said, Lauren, you and our kids are my priority. If this is hurting you, we are done with it. It was the most romantic thing he's ever done. He chose our peace over his family's platform. He stopped filming, he stopped posting, and he started protecting our little family with everything he had. He gave me the space to heal, to find myself again, and to be a mom without the world watching my every move. Josiah isn't just my husband. He's the reason I'm still standing today. He traded the cameras for a quiet life, and he's never looked back once. Our first miracle, Bella Milagro, is now 6 years old. Watching her grow up away from the cameras has been the greatest gift I could ever give her. In the public eye, she was just a rainbow baby storyline, but at home, she is so much more. She is our little ray of sunshine, always smiling and incredibly active. She's currently being homeschooled just like Josiah and I were, and seeing her world expand through books instead of a television script is a joy I can't describe. She doesn't have a camera voice or a public face. She just gets to be a child. She takes her role as the eldest very seriously. Sometimes I look at her playing in the yard and I think about how different her life would be if we had stayed on the show. She would have been Bella from Counting On to the World. To us, she's just our sweet Bella, and that is all she will ever need to be. After Bella, we knew we wanted more children, but we made a pact, no more public announcements. We didn't want the magazines to own our joy. In late 2021, I found out I was expecting again. We didn't post a letter board or a gender reveal. We just basked in the secret. Our second daughter, Daisy, arrived in March 2022. For months, the only people who knew were our closest family. Eventually, Eagle, iFan spotted her name on a gift pile in a family video, and that's how her existence was confirmed to the world. It felt strange to have people investigating our children, but it also felt like a victory because we chose when to hold her close. Daisy is as sweet as her name, gentle, observant, and she adores her big sister. Having those first few months of her life completely private allowed us to bond in a way that I didn't get with Bella because of the filming schedules. Just a year after Daisy was born, God blessed us again. We stayed in our quiet bubble even as rumors swirled. In May 2023, we welcomed our first son, Ezra. I remember Josiah holding him for the first time and just whispering, "He's here." We followed the alphabetical naming trend. Bella, Daisy, Ezra, but we did it for ourselves, not for a title card. Ezra is our little warrior. He has Josiah's eyes and a laugh that fills the whole house. Fans eventually caught glimpses of him in the background of other people's vlogs. And while it was hard to keep him hidden in such a large family, we did our best to blur his face for his own privacy. Seeing him grow from a baby to a toddler in the peace of our Arkansas home has been a healing journey for me. He is a constant reminder that life is beautiful when it's shared with the people who actually matter. People always wondered if we were done after 3, but we've always said we'll take as many children as the Lord sees fit. In early 2025, eagle-eyed followers spotted me with a baby bump in the background of a family meal. Again, we didn't confirm anything. We didn't need to. In the summer of 2025, around June or July, we welcomed our 4th child, another little boy. He is our final secret for now. Growing our family by 4 children in 6 years has been an adventure, to say the least. Our house is loud, it's messy, and it's full of little boots and toy trucks. There is no hair and makeup team waiting in the living room. There's just me in my pajamas making breakfast for 4 little miracles. It's exhausting, but it's real. We are building a life based on love, not on ratings. One of the biggest changes in our quiet life has been how I see myself. When I was on the show, I felt like I had to fit a certain mold. I felt I had to dress a certain way and present a beige, perfectly curated life. But now I've found my own style. I wear jeans now. It sounds like a small thing, but for me, it was a massive step in finding my own identity outside of the family rules. I even stepped away from the path I thought I was supposed to take. I earned an associate's degree in nursing while I was in the spotlight. But I've realized I don't actually enjoy school, and I don't plan on being a nurse. My ministry isn't in a hospital or on a television screen. It's right here in my living room. I'm not a nursing student or a reality star anymore. I'm a woman who loves her husband, adores her children, and is finally comfortable in her own skin. Even in our silence, the internet never stopped talking. I would hear about rumors through friends, people saying I was mean on the show, or that Josiah and I were miserable. It's a strange thing to have strangers diagnose your marriage based on a 10-minute edited clip from years ago. For a while, that noise made me want to scream the truth from the rooftops. I wanted to defend myself, but then I realized the people who matter already know the truth. Josiah and I aren't miserable, we are just private. Being called mean for setting boundaries just taught me that people will always misinterpret your strength as a weakness. I learned to stop looking for validation in the comment section and started finding it in the eyes of my children. The silence wasn't a punishment for the fans. It was a protection for our souls. I can't talk about my journey as a mother without talking about my first baby, Asa. Losing that pregnancy on television was a special kind of trauma. Having to grieve a loss while cameras were rolling, and then having that grief analyzed by millions of viewers, it was unbearable. It made me feel like my pain was just content. When we walked away from the show, I finally had the space to truly mourn him without an audience. I realized that part of my deep need for privacy with my other children came from that experience. I didn't want my pregnancies to be storylines anymore. Asa will always be our firstborn in heaven, and his memory is a sacred part of our family that we don't feel the need to broadcast. He taught me that life is fragile and that some things are too precious to share with the world. People often ask if we live in a big mansion like the one I grew up in or the big house. The truth is, we chose a much simpler life. Our home in Arkansas is cozy. It's a place where you can hear the kids laughing from any room. We don't have a massive estate with gates. We have a yard where the grass is usually a bit too long, and there are toy trucks scattered everywhere. We focus our money and time on making it ours, painting walls colors we actually like, and filling it with furniture that is meant to be lived in, not just looked at for a camera. There's a garden in the back where I spend most of my mornings. It's not a showpiece, it's a sanctuary. In this house, there is no good side for the camera. Every corner is for us. It's the first place I've ever lived where I feel like I can truly let my guard down. Josiah leaving the show meant he had to find a real job for the first time. Watching him transition into a normal career has been one of my proudest moments as his wife. He doesn't have to perform for a paycheck anymore. He works hard in the car business and home renovations, and when he comes home at 5 p.m., he is fully ours. He's not worried about what the producers want for the next scene or how he's being edited. He's just a dad who is tired but happy. There is such a dignity in that quiet, honest work. He loves that people at his job treat him like Joe, not Josiah from TV. He's found a sense of purpose that he never had when he was just a character in a reality show. We might not have the TV money anymore, but we have a peace that money could never buy. Setting boundaries with family is never easy, especially when your family is as large and public as the Duggars. We love Josiah's parents, but we had to make the difficult choice to go low contact for the sake of our own family's health. We don't attend every family event anymore. We don't want our children growing up in the shadow of the big house expectations. It caused some tension at first. There were a lot of questions and a lot of hurt feelings. But we had to be firm. Our children deserve to know their grandparents, but they also deserve a life that isn't dictated by someone else's rules or legacy. We've created a smaller, tighter circle. We see the family on our own terms now. When it feels safe and healthy, it's not about being rebellious. It's about being parents who put their children's well, being above tradition. Walking away from the show didn't mean walking away from my sisters-in-law. In fact, our bonds have grown stronger now that we aren't competing for screen time. We have a secret group chat where we share the real stuff, the teething struggles, the bad days, and the small victories. Jill has been such a source of strength for me. She was the first one to really break away, and seeing her find her voice gave me the courage to find mine. We don't talk about the Duggar brand or the next filming schedule. We talk about recipes, our faith, and how to raise our kids with boundaries. It's a sisterhood that isn't for the cameras, it's for our hearts. Knowing I have women in my corner who truly understand the unique pressure I've been under makes the isolation of leaving the spotlight feel much less lonely. Segment Much TV, the trauma of reality TV protecting the next generation. I look at old clips of myself on the show, and I don't even recognize that girl. She looks so scripted, so guarded. The trauma of being a character in your own life is something I'm still processing in therapy. I remember being told how to sit, how to react, and even how to feel about my own miscarriage. It robs you of your authentic self. That is exactly why Josiah and I are so protective of our children. People ask why we don't even show their faces from the side. It's because they deserve to own their own image. They are not content. They are not a way to get more likes or a higher rating. I want them to grow up and decide for themselves if they want the world to know them. Until then, their childhood belongs to them, and I will be the wall that stands between them and the public's curiosity. Growing up, my faith was often tied to a long list of don'ts. Don't wear this, don't go there, don't think that. It was a faith of performance. But in the last 3 years of silence, I've found a different kind of God. I've found a God who loves me even when I'm wearing jeans. I've found a God who cares more about my heart than my hemline. Josiah and I have found a small local church where we can just be members, not celebrities. We are deconstructing the legalism we were raised with and rebuilding a relationship with Jesus that is based on grace. It's a quiet faith. It doesn't need a platform or a hashtag. It just needs a humble heart. For the first time, my prayers don't feel like a script. They feel like a conversation with a Father who actually sees me. I used to think my anxiety was a sign that I wasn't spiritual enough. I was told to just pray more or trust more. but I've learned that anxiety is often a response to a life that is out of balance. I've had to learn real tools to manage the panic attacks that used to haunt me. Therapy has been a lifesaver. It's taught me that it's okay to say no. It's okay to turn off my phone. It's okay to not be fine all the time. Taking care of my mental health isn't a lack of faith. It's a way of honoring the life God gave me. I do breathing exercises, I garden, and I prioritize sleep. These small things have given me a stability I never had when I was living for the cameras. I'm not cured, but I am equipped. I finally have the peace I used to only pretend to have. Everyone has had so much fun guessing our children's names! While we've kept them private for a long time, the names we chose are deeply significant to our journey. Bella Milagro was our beautiful miracle after our loss. Daisy was named for the flower that represents new beginnings and purity. She was our fresh start in the shadows. Ezra means helper or salvation. He arrived at a time when we were really leaning on God to help us build this new private life. And our newest little one, his name means peace, because that is exactly what he brought into our home. We didn't choose these names for how they would look on a TV screen. We chose them as prayers for our children's futures. They are the only titles that matter in this house. I know some people will find it ironic that I am sharing this story after working so hard to be invisible. But there is a difference between being public and being seen. I'm sharing this now because I want to be the voice I needed 3 years ago. I want to tell the girl who is drowning in expectations that it's okay to walk away. It's okay to choose your peace over a platform. I'm not coming back to be a reality star or an influencer. I'm just popping my head up to say that the grass really is greener on this side of the fence. I found a balance where I can share a little bit of my heart without giving away my whole life. This isn't a comeback tour, it's a testimony of healing. I want you to know that you don't have to be perfect to be loved, and you don't have to be seen to be significant. There is a beauty in being a stranger. I love that I can go to a park and just be the mom with the 4 kids instead of Lauren from TV. Josiah and I often look at each other at the end of a long, quiet day and just smile. We don't have the fancy cars or the big checks anymore, but we have everything we ever actually wanted. We have a marriage built on friendship, a home built on grace, and children who know they are loved for who they are, not for what they can do for a camera. I've learned that the best parts of life are the ones that never make it to a screen. My story was once written by producers and editors, but now I'm the one holding the pen. And I think I'll keep the best chapters just for us. Thank you for respecting our journey. This is Lauren, finally at peace.